welcome back to another episode of the Creative Saints podcast. I'm Josh.
I'm Victoria.
How are you today?
I'm good. We are recording episode 20. Yeah, this feels like a milestone.
This does. Okay, so 10 felt like a milestone,
Yeah.
but this feels like a whole other ballpark.
We're podcasters.
I've told a couple of people over the last couple of days that we are on the 20th episode this week,
Mhm.
and they've been like, that's actually kind of wild.
And then for me, I'm going and listening to the podcasts that I listen to, and they're like, episode 500. And I'm like, oh, geez, we have so far to go.
But they started somewhere.
The bar has been set very high.
It's also, we listened to, last week we went back and listened to some of the first episodes.
Oh, my word.
Guys, this has been a journey.
A friend of ours told us that he was listening back, and we were kind of embarrassed because we knew at the time we had no clue what we were doing. We did not have good mics. We were recording in our car. If you guys remember, I think we recorded our first podcast in our car.
I specifically took a couple photos when we were recording in the car, blankets like buffering over our head to make this sound better. We didn't know what we were doing, but we started.
Yeah.
20 episodes later.
Do we know what we're doing now?
I still don't know. But
it feels like it's like a living organism. Like we don't know what it will become, but we're doing the thing, you know?
so weekly episodes for 5 weeks. Let's just say 4 weeks in a month.
Mhm.
That's 5 months of doing this.
I
Almost
know.
half a year of doing this.
Wild. I feel like we
That's-
just started.
Yeah. I feel like we've been at it for a couple months. But if you go back and listen to the first episodes,
Oh, don't tell them to do that.
there is
Just
good conversation,
Yeah.
but don't judge the quality
Yeah.
because
Appreciate the growth, please.
the co-hosts are slightly embarrassed by that.
Today's gonna be just lighthearted. We really just wanted to
Reflect.
on what this has been like, what this journey feels very existential. I almost said it and I was like, oh, I don't like that. But what this has been like and what our intentions with it all were and how it's gone and some of our favorite and least favorite things. Just keep it lighthearted today.
Maybe we'll ask some wild off-the-wall questions.
Maybe. And for the sake of vulnerability, which I feel like is something that we're always doing, it's been a really bad week. Not just hard, it's been a bad week. And so getting this out has been low priority, but like we're so passionate about it. You know, it's high priority at the same time.
We're not going to skip a week, but I do think that God does work in ways
Mhm.
where I've been contemplating bringing up changing our release date
Yeah.
to Fridays
Hmm.
because new music comes out. People are gearing up for the weekend. They're doing yard work. We're outside. So having this come out on a Friday and having the weekend to listen
Yeah.
rather than a
Why
Thursday.
did we choose Thursday in the first place?
Because we picked some arbitrary date
Yeah.
that I think other podcasts put them out on Thursday. So from this point on, we're going to put episodes out on Fridays.
Mhm.
So you can get your new music, your new Creative Saints podcast, and have stuff to listen to for the weekend.
Yeah. I think it's funny. Like we just going in, I was like, oh my God, are we going to have to skip a week? Like I really didn't see how we were going to mentally make this happen. And that's not what we wanted to do. We definitely want to sit and record. We want to have this time. We want to be raw and honest and vulnerable with everyone that's listening because it matters to us. And yeah, I think that in the process, we decided to change some things up. 20 episodes in, I think it's a perfect time to make a switch on, you know, whether the release date, the things we talk about, how we communicate, you know, whatever it looks like moving forward. We're very open-handed with the whole thing, right? And this wasn't our plan. We feel like it was God's, and so we're just, I don't know, we're doing the thing, you know.
We're doing it.
Yeah.
So why don't you quickly, let's just start kind of going through like reflecting on why did we start this?
Yeah. I think the goal initially to start this was to be able to have a place where we had long form conversations
Yeah.
about what the things that we're so passionate about,
Yep.
right? Because when it comes to client work and church work and all the things, we find that we're having these conversations in like a heightened mini way
Right.
where we're just trying to get information out. We're trying to communicate well with our clients or our churches or the work that we're doing. Like it's just like a quick uh, version of why we do what we do, how we
Right.
do it, how does this process work, what like why did you choose that, what was your reason, and we were going, oh, I wish people could like get inside our brain and like really understand the process of all of this. And then also the community aspect was a huge part where we were having young designers come and ask you questions
Mm.
and um we wanted to have a space where we could have these conversations, people could ask questions and we could really communicate well um what this looks like, what the
Yeah.
reality of this looks like, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not sunshine and roses. Like there's some hard stuff too,
Hmm.
but there's really, really good things. And so, yeah, sometimes it's hard to have these conversations, quickly or even over coffee. Sometimes this is the space for us to do that. So,
Absolutely.
um,
And it's the conversation that someone may need to hear.
mhm,
We can't have coffee with everybody.
yeah,
We really would love to have coffee with everybody, but we
hmm
just can't do that. And so this opens up the space to have those conversations about specific topics
yeah,
or walking through specific seasons or situations that people can get a glimpse of what we're doing.
hmm
I think sometimes when we do coffee with people, I'm totally guilty of this. Of I would book meetings in the middle of the day to because I actually care about people and I wanted to, but I have a family and businesses and
yeah,
work and stuff to get done, and so I'm not fully present.
yeah,
And so this is full raw, honest. We set aside an hour a week to record, and we have those conversations where you get the depth
hmm
and there is none of the craziness of life that is going to interrupt or oh my god, this client needs this, I have a
yeah,
meeting in an hour, I only have an hour to talk to you. We're able to kind of prepare that and put it out there in a way
hmm
that it's digestible for the internet.
yeah. I love that. I am excited about what's going to change. I feel like there's a shift coming. I don't know exactly what that is. Um, Obviously, we would love to see more engagement and all those things. I've talked about that before. Like, I think in my head, I thought like this was just going to expand and blow up, but I think it's been a slow burn. And the people that need to hear these conversations are hearing them and they're reaching out to
But
us.
we're hearing on a weekly basis, people are like, that really
hmm
helped me this week, that really
Yeah,
encouraged me this week. And even
that matters more than the amount of likes or comments or shares, honestly. Like
right,
it does. I think that my business brain is going like, what are we doing? Is this worth our time? What is our reach? What is our, and I don't,
analytics can sometimes take
yeah,
away the
it's a
human
deep
element.
dark hole that you can fall into. And so I want it to matter in all the ways. I want it to, full circle, like be doing well. But the conversations, guys, the few people that have DM'd, reached out and said, man, I really needed that. That has meant so much. So
Yeah.
just stick around. We don't know week to week what this is going to be. We weren't planning this week to be the way that it is, but um,
We have a
God,
really good, juicy conversation for next week, though.
yeah, we're excited about that one. We really wanted to save that until 21. So all right, let's kind of dive in. We wanted to reflect on what we've done so far, how we've felt about it, and yeah, just kind of see like are there things we would have changed or done differently. So, you ready?
Yes.
Um, what is some feedback that made us cry? Have you had feedback that made you cry?
I think the amount of young designers
Mm-hmm.
starting businesses,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean this in the nicest way, so desperately wanting to have a conversation,
Mm-hmm.
like wanting to dig in more.
Mm-hmm.
I think that has been a shock.
Yeah.
People ask me about designing or creating or being a creative. How do you balance? A couple people have actually said, "How do you balance like the Bible and business?"
Mm-hmm.
Which is really a good way to put it. But it's mind blowing to me how many people have like desperately wanted to connect,
Mm-hmm.
and that's opened another thing that we're going to launch from this point on. I meant to launch it last week, but is setting up a time that once a week we're going to do a Creative Saint session
Hmm.
where we hop on a Zoom call for 30 minutes and we just talk about a little more
Yeah.
in depth.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to field these. There are so many people requesting.
Yeah.
I am going to have to field these
For sure.
and pick one a week, but it's something that's spawned from this that
Hmm.
actually we've never talked about. But the amount of people reaching out and wanting me to check out their stuff or to have a conversation and actually review and like
Hmm.
talk, not just talk, but like talk through specific things has been a huge shock. And a couple times I've been like, dang, this is
Hmm.
more weighty than just having a conversation with my wife,
Yeah. Yeah.
talking about the things I love.
Hmm.
This is more weighty.
Yeah. Um, I think for me, it's been the people that are like, I really just felt like I was sitting at the table with you
Yeah.
guys. And just that means so much. Like sometimes this feels very insular that it's just you and I talking and I
Right.
don't know who it's gonna reach or who's gonna hear it or how it's gonna matter. But for someone to say, I felt like I was having a conversation with you guys and learning so much, and I'm like, great. Like that is always the goal. And I think that that's what's meant the most. I don't know if it's made me cry, but it has meant so much.
Yeah.
Um, mm,
S-
Go ahead.
So, most surprising moment while we've been recording.
I don't know if I can think of one. I mean,
We've had a couple times where we've been recording
mhm.
and it definitely feels like God was like, okay, this is my
Well, so that's what I
like
was gonna
taking
say.
over the conversation and it's gone in a different direction.
Yeah, the question itself makes it sound like it's gonna end up on Funniest Home Videos or something, but I
Oh
think
man.
that the most surprising has been in those moments where we're talking and God has gone like, okay, now say this.
Right.
And we both kind of look at each other and go,
Guess
oh,
that's where we're
guess we're going
going.
here now, didn't plan on talking about that or whatever. But yeah, and again, that kind of goes back to like we're very open-handed with the Lord with this thing. Whatever he wants us to talk about, we're going to talk about. And it helps to be in tune with the Holy Spirit when
Yeah.
you're living that way because he'll let you know.
I think a testament to this is consistency
Hmm.
is how you build something online.
Yeah.
Consistent content being put out, having a commitment
Hmm.
and sticking to it is where God is going to move the most. Sometimes the hardest week ever
Hmm.
and you still do it. And we've
Hmm.
had a couple weeks where it's been really hard to get this recorded
Just because of time.
because of
Like,
time.
yeah.
We've not had a week like this week, but there is something to consistency in building trust with people, building trust with the Lord. And I think it's really important to stick to that and say, no matter how hard this is, no matter how tired I am, no matter how hurt I am, no matter what,
Hmm.
I committed to this
Hmm.
and I'm going to do it. And I think that is something that's a really important lesson for running a business.
Yeah.
And running a business as a faith filled person
Hmm.
is if you're going to do it, you got to be committed
Yeah.
because it's going to have hard times
Yeah.
in business, not
Yeah.
even a podcast. You're going to have days where you're like, I don't know how I'm going to get this done. And where does your comfort and
Hmm.
your trust and your energy come from?
Yeah.
So
I love that. Our hardest episode.
you take that one.
I'm gonna be honest. It's this one,
Yeah.
and like I said, maybe at some point we can dig into why. Maybe not the hardest conversation we've ever had. The hardest. It's been the hardest to find the why this week.
Yeah.
Amidst just some personal stuff that we've gone through, and this feels very low on the totem pole,
Mhm.
and yet at the same time we knew that we had to do it, and
I want to
so
be very mindful with this episode because I feel like there's going to be bits of this that
mhm,
really touch people
mhm,
because it's the hardest
yeah,
and because of this week,
mhm,
that there's going to be stuff that we talk about today that really hits people. And
mhm,
if it does, please comment, probably
yeah,
DM,
reach
probably
out,
DM,
yeah,
reach out. Because there is purpose in everything. And sometimes when things are the hardest, it's the most purposeful.
mhm,
Um, I was going to say hardest episode was when we were trying to plan our rest and out of office and all of that and trying to figure out that was early on. I
mhm,
think episode like 5 maybe.
Maybe.
We were trying to figure all of that out, and it felt a little conflicting in, okay, we're talking about rest and we're talking about being out of office, but we were trying to, and we haven't done this since, we were trying to pre-record
Mm-hmm.
episodes. So while we were on a week of break, we weren't recording.
Right.
That felt like off balance.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that it was wrong. It was good. They're good, but we don't do that
Yeah.
because what you guys are getting week to week is raw, like live, what we're walking through, current situations,
Yeah.
what we feel God wants us to talk about
Yeah.
in these times. So trying to force the recording and then having it stacked up to put out, which we talked about a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
felt hard.
Yeah. Branding fail that made us humble. Do you have one? I really like our branding for
I
our
don't know.
podcast. So
I like the branding.
yeah.
New things are coming.
Yeah. I don't
Uh,
think that there's been any fails. I will say trying to make social content and reels has made me very, very humble.
Social
It's
content in general is
yeah.
just a full-time job,
Yep.
and it is not a fly by the seat of your pants. You have to have a strategy, you have to have a
Mm-hmm.
plan, and you can't do the same thing every week, which we
Yeah.
tried to plan in the beginning, doing the same thing every week, and it just felt like
I don't know.
empty.
Just
Yeah,
didn't
it wasn't cheeky. It was just empty.
yeah.
Most popular episode
And why it hit.
in my
Myths and Magic has been our most popular episode, and that's the one where we talk about how we
how
stay
we work
married
together.
and do this at the same time. Yeah, I think that actually makes sense for me that it's the
Yeah.
most popular. I think that is probably one of the most common questions we get. How do you guys do life seeing so much of each other?
Yeah.
And it's worked for us. And if you want to know how we do it, go back and listen to that episode.
Myths and Magic episode. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's yeah, that's funny that it makes me wonder honestly if there's more husband and wives working together than you might think there are. And I know we talked like not just husband and wives, any close partner relationship, but for that to be the most popular, I'm like, oh,
But I think
wonder.
that's the source of contention in marriage and business and whatever is the long-term working together
Mhm.
and how do you get through disagreements and all. I think it makes sense that is the most popular episode. Maybe we should use that as promoting on social media.
Oh, there's an idea.
Clever.
Has there been a ministry moment that you didn't expect? I mean, I think it's fair if you say no, but
I wouldn't say specifically from the podcast, but since we've started the podcast, the way that I address conversations when people come to me,
mhm.
whether through DMs, which happens so much, I have to go check my Facebook messages every other day
And they
because
come to you, not the Creative
yeah,
Saints. So
they
that's
come
what's
dir-
so funny.
so people are like finding Creative Saints webpage is actually hosted on our website for business, so it does
Yeah,
make sense.
it
But
does.
I have to go check my like message requests because people are there, and I have had several conversations and phone calls
Mhm.
that weren't actually about design at all. I thought they were. I thought they were potential clients at times, and it ended up being this person was in church and left church because they got hurt or
Yeah.
they were trying to figure it out for themselves. And there's been some really interesting ministry moments in that, but I wouldn't say directly like podcast related.
hmm Gear and software regrets.
Okay, so
I would imagine most podcasters have this because you start where you start.
you
You
just
know?
get started.
Yeah.
Unless you go buy a $5,000 setup and
Okay.
you
Well,
rock and roll. So when we started this, recording in our car
Yeah.
with blankets over our head.
On a rainy night. I'm pretty sure you can hear the rain in
Oh,
that episode.
pretty sure. Go listen to it and see if you can hear
No,
rain.
don't. Listen to Myths and Magic.
So we just got on Amazon and we ordered some lapel mics.
Mhm.
We didn't know anything about them. I had done research and I was like,
Yeah.
we could go buy $40 Amazon mics or we could go buy $500 professional mics. What are we doing? And
I was like, can we see if we like doing this
we
first?
didn't even know if we were going to
I
do
know.
this. And one thing that people had told me who do podcasts, who are mentors, is don't invest
Mm-hmm.
until you know that this is something that is going to stay.
Yeah.
And we've watched several businesses we've done branding for, and they spend tens of thousands of dollars on equipment and software and processes and hiring, and then they fail in 6 months.
Yeah.
So we started with these $40 Amazon mics, and
That have
then
since been donated.
since have no, we still have those.
Oh, okay.
We have them. If you would like them, I'll give them to you. But when we got serious about this, probably around episode 8,
Mm-hmm.
we started really researching how do we up our game? How do we up our game with the software and settings?
Mm-hmm.
How do we, which was more you.
And I don't want to edit so much. Are there mics
Right.
that can help me with all of the sounds?
So we are not audio people.
Mhm.
That's engineering is not our thing. Creative and
We're
design
learning.
is more our side. So
Mhm.
we wanted to learn, but we also wanted something that was going to be easy. And so we made the decision to upgrade our mics to the Rode Wireless Pro.
Yeah.
And it is so
Night and day.
night and day.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives you so much more to edit from and super easy clarity. It's amazing. So wish that we would have
Invested in the beginning.
actually no. I'm glad we did it the way
Yeah.
we did.
I know.
How have we grown in our flow as hosts?
Okay, I think that we have excelled in this so well. I remember recording the first couple of times and having like false starts and having to stop and okay, we can't say that and hold on, this sounds too scripted and whatever. I mean, truly today we pushed record and we started talking, and that has felt really nice because we had no clue what we were doing.
Mhm.
And everybody thinks that they can start a podcast, and you can start a podcast, but there is definitely a comfortability that has set in that
Yeah.
we did not have at first.
I will take full responsibility. I hate being recorded and videoed. I like to be the dude behind the scenes that nobody knows about.
Yeah.
That's my comfort level.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. And I was the one who was awkward in the beginning. I was like, what do I do with my hands? Ricky Bobby style.
It's not Ricky Bobby.
Is it not?
It's Anchorman.
Anchorman. That's Will Ferrell
It's
nonetheless.
the same.
Aren't all of his movies the same?
That's funny.
But we have
I feel like we've grown a lot.
we have grown, and it's proof that we've grown because people say they feel like they're sitting across the table.
Yes.
If this was awkward, it wouldn't feel like that. And so the 3 people I know who have said, I feel like I'm sitting across the table from you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're amazing.
Have we had any bloopers? I mean, we ended the podcast, like, let's just be honest. So
there are some bloopers.
there are probably a few, because sometimes we say things that we regret.
Well, sometimes we have shared client
Yeah,
stories and
yeah.
like processes.
We had to take
That-
it out.
It ended great,
Mhm.
but in the middle of it, like sometimes in design and revisions with working with clients, if you actually share that information,
Mhm.
it sounds really, really negative.
Yeah.
But it's part of the process. Like
Mhm.
what we do for a living is take critique, and we give critique back. Like, so sometimes it can sound negative, and I can think of 2 times where we've had a good like 7-minute part of the podcast we've talked about, and it's good, but it would feel very negative.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and we never want to like devalue anybody or
Yeah.
come across as dogging or
Yeah. I mean,
any of that.
sometimes it's just the reality of client work and working with people. And it doesn't mean that it's bad, but, there's stuff that's
Yeah.
work. It has to be done, and there are edits to be made, and, whatever. So, yeah, so I guess we haven't had on-air bloopers. There have been a few things
We've
that
talked
we've
about
laughed
politics
about.
a couple times.
Yeah, we shouldn't do that either.
Beep.
Most vulnerable moment we've shared. I feel like that's yet to come.
Yeah, I feel like there's
More to be said, but
yeah.
we'll move on from that. What would we do differently if we could
You take this one.
have a studio? I mean, if we're saying if we could,
Yeah.
we wouldn't be recording at home, but
I do think that if we were to do it differently, I would secure a studio. just even to just record it, not even doing video or any, but we can create the graphics, we can create the reels, we can create
Mhm.
we can record, we can do all of that. We transcribe every week and put this
Yeah.
on YouTube. But I think that securing a studio before we started is, or maybe after episode 5 when we were like, okay, we are
Mm.
doing this, I think I probably would have done that. It's not really a regret though.
Yeah. It's
So,
just part of the process. And I don't know. I think that this is vulnerable here. Like, we aren't going into this going, I know exactly what I'm doing. I know everything about podcasting. Like, there's going to be things that change along the way, and we're going to change space, and we're going to change equipment, and we're going to change the way we talk or whatever. And I don't know. I'm glad that we're kind of doing this in a public way and people can see the growth or the change or ask questions
but I think
along the
that's what
way.
makes us different than every other podcast out there, is not every other, but most podcasts in this realm is it's just vulnerable, it's
Hmm.
authentic, it's real,
Yep.
but it is information and advice,
Hmm.
exposure, any of those things that is long lasting. Like, these aren't topics that just go away. We're not talking about
Right.
trending anything.
Yeah, that's true.
AI, that conversation will probably change, but it'll definitely change. I had a
Yeah.
conversation with my brother about prompt engineering this morning, that things are hardcore
Things are
shifting.
shifting.
But
Good. I'll let
um
you have those conversations.
creative principle that anchors us.
Did you write the
I
next
did.
word? Yeah.
Balance.
Yeah.
Finding balance
Mhm.
is, that's why we're here today.
Mhm.
That's why we're doing this today, is
Mhm.
this is part of our weekly schedule,
Mhm.
and we keep our schedule to balance doing all of the things and doing it in a healthy way that it is peaceful,
Mhm.
and having balance in everything, making sure that everything is from a place of peace and
Mhm.
stays in a place of peace, has enabled us to be who we are 20 episodes in,
Yeah.
7 years of business in, 9 years of marriage in.
Mhm.
Balance,
Yep.
peace.
I agree. Oh, this is a good one. What is a new thing that we're gonna be adding post this episode? So the first thing is we're gonna be releasing on Fridays
Yep.
now. So that
New
is
release
a
Friday.
new release Friday.
I am totally gonna hashtag that and follow the new release
Yeah.
Friday.
Yes. I
It's
think
like
it's
free
just dumb.
marketing,
I think it's dumb that we haven't done it in the past.
free
And
SEO reach.
we thought Thursday was just like gonna work for us. Honestly, Friday's great. Gives me more time to edit things. Um, yeah. And then
Stay tuned for episode 25. We're gonna have big, big changes.
okay,
Episode 25.
let's go. It gives us 5 weeks to figure out what that is, or for you to tell me all the details. Um,
We discussed this.
we did. You just have more of a plan than I do. So I think it's good. How I love this question. How has our faith matured in this process?
I think you should answer that one.
um, I think that overall it's given me more confidence. So, okay, faith, yes, but on
Hmm.
the work side, I think
Yeah.
that having these conversations and knowing that I can talk about these things has given me more confidence in
Hmm.
our work. And because our work is so closely related to our faith, I
Hmm.
think that they have gone hand in hand. I feel like I know how to hear from God in a very different way as it relates to this ministry specifically. And I know that it's going to sound crazy to call a podcast a ministry, but we've always looked at everything that we've done as like,
We've
what
called
is
our business our
we
ministry.
have. And I think over the course of these conversations and hashing out these conversations and how do we want to talk about this, and is this right, and is this theologically correct if we say it this way, and how is this going to impact people if we say it this way,
Right.
and what are people telling us they want to hear, and all of those things have kind of played a part into like, okay, God, what do you want to do with this? And seeing him work in this slowly, like, it hasn't been the explosive growth that maybe I thought I wanted. This has been slow, and it feel like it's given God time to work through us.
Hmm.
And my faith for everything in our life right now is different than it was 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and the way that I talk to God, the way that I pray for things, the way, like, all of that is very different now.
Hmm.
And this outlet has played a huge part in that.
Yeah. I like that outlet.
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely an outlet.
Mm-hmm.
It's we're talking about what we're walking,
Mm-hmm.
and it's definitely given us more confidence as business owners, as
Mm-hmm.
creatives, as leaders. But I feel like what God has really worked through us in these last episodes
Mm-hmm.
has been all ministry focus
Mm-hmm.
in having hard conversations, not even with clients or in a business perspective, but in public
Mm-hmm.
and in random conversation, in how we parent and how we're presenting ourselves into the world,
Mm-hmm.
and while we're out and about. um I think about things differently.
Mm-hmm.
I am careful about what I say and how I engage with people a lot differently. But hearing yourself, I go back and listen to these episodes every
Mm-hmm.
week to, like, if I get something out of it, I'm like, we're the ones who are talking about it. If I'm getting something out of it, then I feel pretty confident that somebody else is.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only been one time that I was like, okay, we just kind of did that week.
Yeah.
And I think that's fine. But I am taking our own advice,
Mm-hmm.
because I think God is talking through these conversations. And there's sometimes we say things and we need to hear them.
Yeah.
Maybe the whole reason of doing this podcast is for us to hear what God is saying through this and the obedience of just doing it.
Yeah.
So that got way spiritual, but
I mean, the question
it's
was about your
life.
faith.
Yep.
So,
I thought we should both answer that one.
yeah.
Hopes for the next 10 episodes.
I hope that we continue to gain clarity on what this is,
Mm-hmm.
because moments like right now, like recording this week, where it sucks and is hard, feel like this is supposed to be something more than it is. And I don't know. Maybe we will only ever talk about creativity and graphic design and how it relates to business and the church and our marriage and all the things. Maybe that is what it is forever. But then there's moments like today that feel like this is something else,
Mm-hmm.
and that God has other plans for it. And that feels a little daunting. Scary isn't the right word. It feels a little heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And truly, I could just be feeling all of this because it's been a bad week. But I think there's more for this. I think there's more for us. I think there's other people that are supposed to be involved. And I don't know if that'll show itself in the next 10 episodes, but I think we will have more clarity on where this is going.
Yeah.
And I mean, and then I hope I'm better at editing, and I hope that we have video, and I hope that we have guests, and I hope
like
that
all the
all
things
of those
that,
things, right?
like
yeah. But at the heart of it,
yeah,
I think that I think God wants to do something, and I just want to make sure that we're very in tune with what this is, how it changes, and what He wants the fruit of it to be.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say none of the like technical things, because there are a lot of things we want to do to just up production value and get more engaged, all of those things. But what I was gonna say is that I hope the next 10 episodes are inspiring for people to walk through crap situations of running a business, being in ministry, living a life, trusting God, and ultimately all of us depending more on God's timing and being okay with God's timing and continuing to be obedient and fruitful and crushing it and working our butts off through God's timing, even when it feels like you're in the desert forever.
Yep.
I hope that God's timing isn't forever. Sometimes things just take a long time, and I'm like,
want to be like the Israelites.
Yeah, I don't really want to wait 40.
Yeah.
But I hope that we do things at God's timing
Mm-hmm.
and talk about the right conversations that people need to hear.
Mm-hmm.
But I really hope that the next 10 episodes are more inspirational and impactful for people.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, that was a lot.
That was a lot.
I mean, for an episode that we just kind of wanted to be lighthearted, got kind of heavy there.
Let's pick 2 lighthearted questions
Okay,
and wrap on a not so
not so heavy
heavy.
thing. Okay. I'm going to ask you this one. What is something that people think we have figured out, but we don't?
Ooh, God's timing.
Everything?
Business. Man, I don't know. Sometimes people come to us because we do have experience in marriage and
Mhm.
parenting and business and podcasting now. And I'm like,
Why are you coming to me?
why are you coming to me? But I think that is the crux of doing this the right way
Mhm.
is if people come to you, it's not in like they're giving you glory or anything, but I think that when
Mhm.
people think that we have it figured out,
Yeah.
that means that we're at least following the path of what our purpose is and what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
yeah.
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 Do you want to ask me one?
I'm going to ask you one.
Okay.
Well, you ask me another one while I'm looking.
No, I'm going to wait.
Okay. What is your creative comfort food?
Oh, I did not think that you were going to say that. My creative comfort food?
Your creative comfort food. When you feel uncreative, uninspired, what is your like source of inspiration?
Do you know the first thing that came to mind?
What?
Well, you said food, so I immediately actually thought
yeah.
real food. And I I wanted to answer Takis. That's so dumb.
Takis. But the Trader Joe's Takis.
Yes, exactly. Those are the ones I go to when I'm munchy and need some food to get me through.
You need something on the side while you're like
Yeah.
mood boarding and taking notes and
My creative comfort food. I think that it's actually mood boarding. That's
Yeah.
one of my favorite things to do is to
you do so man. I just
I
wish
love
you
it.
could
I
do that
love
for me all
coming
the
up
time.
with, I know, me too. I love coming up with color palettes that feel different, and sometimes they're trendy and sometimes they're vintage, and sometimes like depending on what the thing is. And
hmm
I specifically love branding events.
Yep.
I am thinking of one right now actually that I could probably do and help you with. And yeah, so I think that if I'm feeling like I need to get inspired or I
Yeah.
need to like kind of, it's easy for me and I can kind of play around
Yeah.
and like search some websites and do some research and things like that. But yeah, I'll usually just like pick something or pick a brand or go
Yep.
on Pinterest and pick a photo or something and like just mock up some sort of brand guide or an event or something like that. That's usually like mood boarding is
Yeah.
my favorite.
I love it.
Yeah. My last question. You ready?
Okay, let's end on this one.
What's the dumbest argument we've had during production, during recording?
Dumbest
I
argument.
have kind of an answer, but I want to know what you
I
think.
have an answer. I like to have water or coffee.
Oh my God.
And I'll pick up my coffee cup and set it down.
You might.
This noise right here drives Victoria crazy.
The way that I'm going to edit that out so that people don't even know what you're talking about. You guys, I can't handle it.
Or
And
if I
he's
have
like-
my water bottle, I take the top off and it has ice in it and it jingles. She's like, you can't have a
From now
podcast."
on, if you guys are hearing background noise, I just need you to know that it's Josh's fault, okay? I
I'll own it.
can't handle it when I'm editing and I hear the things and I need to take them out, but they're in the middle of someone talking. Ugh. But then his argument is like, we're real people. We're real life. People do this all the time on other podcasts. People
Didn't we
drink.
just say this was all about being real and authentic?
It's not about mouth noises. I can promise
Okay,
you that.
mouth noises are different than my coffee cup sitting down. All right, guys. New releases starting every Friday.
Yeah.
Exciting things coming for episode 25. Next week's episode, it's going to be up.
It's going to be a good one.
It's gonna
I'm
be a
excited
good
about
one.
This one.
That might be a long one.
Yeah, it might be.
Have an amazing weekend,
Yeah.
and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye, guys.
Later.